All right, guys, this is Adrian. Welcome to the Brute Shoot. Today we're going to talk about being coachable or listening to your coach. I think this is something that a lot of people are on the search for right now in the community. They want to be a competitor. They want to be better than their current self, and they're out looking for avenues that are going to take them in that direction. It could be online programming. It could be a personal coach near where you live. Maybe it's just a successful athlete that you look up to. But I think there's something that you need to consider when we talk about the characteristics of a coachable athlete, and I'm really going to hit on one today. And excuse me if I offend anybody or if this hurts your feelings in any way, because I might be talking about you. And so what I'm going to talk about is trust. And when you are on the search for a coach, hopefully you do your homework. Whether you're with a company like us, Brute Strength Training, or somewhere else in the community that is looking to take you to the next level, hopefully the first thing that you've done is your research. And then secondly, when you make the decision to make the investment, you trust us. And I bring that up because our program, unlike any other, we start with what is called an on-ramp process, right? And so what that looks like is we test our athletes, then they start with this process where there's actually 5 weeks of a foundational building structured program that we've created, not only to prepare the athlete for the live grouping wherever they test into, but to really get an opportunity for us to assess where they're currently at past the testing phase. So that means like unilateral strength training, base building for their aerobic capacity. There are some unique things that we're truly trying to trigger. And here's a comment that I often get. Athletes will be 2 weeks done with their testing, they're good to go. They get this email, they're like, all right, it's time for you to start your on-ramp. And they're like, oh, on-ramp. And people hear that word and they're automatically offended. Like I'm setting them back into somewhere where they don't belong, right? Mind you, the majority of our athletes that sign up with us have never been to regionals. They've never been to the CrossFit Games. But they say that's where they want to go. So I have a problem with this because they're unwilling to do what they've never done before in order to get to a place where they've never been. You see where there's confusion there? Maybe I'm confused myself or maybe I'm mistaken. But the real thing is they don't trust the process, right? So if you're an athlete out there, trust the process. So that means taking a couple steps back and your coach is telling you that you need to build a foundation of strength or aerobic-based conditioning where maybe you're forced to take a step back from all of the AMRAPs and the EMOMs and the sexy die in a puddle of sweat fire breather type metcons that you're used to. Be willing to do that because there is rationale and there's a process that needs to be taken in order to be successful, right? I'm speaking from personal experience when I say that I came into CrossFit pretty good at CrossFit, and guess what I hadn't been doing all my life? CrossFit. I'm not saying CrossFit is bad because I teach CrossFit. I run a CrossFit gym. I teach level 1 seminars that help people understand how to program and execute CrossFit at a higher level and with better quality to bring quality to their lives. However, you guys that are watching this and you guys that pursue us for programming are supposedly out to be able to dominate other humans in this sport that we've now created called CrossFit. That's a completely different pursuit. So when I ask you to take a step back and a step away from the things that you're comfortable with and you want to do, be willing to do that. Trust the process so that you can get somewhere that you've never been before. And for a lot of people, that looks like building a stronger foundation on barbell movements and dumbbell movements. Sometimes it's slower moving. Sometimes it's running for miles and miles on end with hardly any rest, and they want to curse me 3 ways from Sunday for programming something like that for them. But our goal is to help them and to help them develop as an athlete. So no matter what you guys are doing out there, take this with you today. Trust the process and trust your coach. And if you're in a situation where you're doubting them, ask them why. If you guys are working with me as a personal coach and you ask me why, and for some reason I'm not willing to give you that explanation, I'm not doing my job. So if you understand the why and you trust your coach, be willing to take the step back and the step forward in order to get to where you want to be. So be coachable.